watching The Ugly Duckling. And what I want you guys to do while you're watching this, because I know that you've heard this story before, it's not something that's new, so I want you to really take note and see if there's anything that you notice that stands out to you that you haven't noticed before. And just kind of take note of that in your mind, because we will be having a discussion after the video.
The Ugly Duckling by Hans Christian Andersen. By a pond, in a nest woven of twigs and reed, little ducks were born into the world. All of them were beautiful and looked like yellow, fluffy balls, except for one. The last duckling to hatch from its egg looked different from the rest. It was gray, fat, and very, very ugly. "It's definitely a turkey," claimed the old duck that had come to visit the mother duck. "He will be of no use. Turkeys are afraid of water, and they don't know how to swim. If I were you, I would chase him away from the nest." However, the mother duck had no intention of chasing any of her children away. She looked after them, treating them equally, especially since the ugly duckling wasn't afraid of the water at all. On the contrary, he was always willing to jump into the pond, and before long he became the best swimmer around. "So he's not a turkey," the mother duck said happily. However, the ugly duckling did not have an easy life. The other ducks, wild geese, and even chickens from the nearby pen pecked him whenever they could and made fun of his ugliness. The poor duckling had to hide under his mother's wing more than once. Eventually, he decided to leave his family's nest and go out into the world in search of friends. The duckling traveled many days. He wandered through fields and forests until at last he came across a small cottage on a hill. There lived a lonely elderly lady who took care of a cat. Although the cat thought it was the other way around, that it was him taking care of the old lady. He was a very arrogant animal, and a person shouldn't always have believed everything he said. The cat would spend all his days talking about how beautifully he could meow, stretch, and give out a shower of sparks when petted against the grain. After a few days, the duckling had had enough of the cat's bragging, so he said goodbye and continued on his travels. He found a forest lake where there lived a huge goose with his flock of little goslings. The goose wanted to chase the duckling from the lake. However, when he swam closer, he changed his mind. "You're so ugly that none of my goslings will even look at you," said the goose, and so he let the ugly duckling join his flock. Autumn had come. The days became shorter and colder. One day the flock of geese prepared to leave, and then flew away, leaving the little duckling all alone. A fierce winter arrived. Snow fell, and the lake was covered by a thick layer of ice. The duckling, who had never before seen winter, didn't know how to find anything to eat. He was hungry and freezing. In the end, the duckling was exhausted and collapsed at the edge of the lake. Fortunately, he was found by an old fisherman who lived on the other side of the lake. He took the duckling home, fed him, and laid him down on a blanket near the fireplace. With each passing day, the duckling became stronger. He grew in leaps and bounds, and soon enough became a big, strong bird. Spring arrived, the sun melted the ice. The fisherman took the duckling to the lake and placed him in the water. The duckling waved goodbye with his wings and swam to the middle of the lake. Then he saw a flock of beautiful swans swimming his way. When the swans came closer, the duckling lowered his head because he was sad. He was sure that they would start to make fun of his ugliness. He looked at his reflection in the water. However, Instead of his ugly appearance, he saw a beautiful white bird, the most beautiful swan in the world. The ugly duckling that turned out to be a swan joined the flock of swans and was soon chosen to be the Swan King.
Okay, now that we've watched the video, does anybody have anything that stood out to them or that they noticed that was different watching it this time as opposed to hearing or seeing the story before?
Yes.
What was your thought?
As opposed to seeing this or hearing the story in elementary, hearing it now makes me realize that I've been in that position before.
And have you ever known anybody else or noticed anybody else that seemed like they felt like that?
Yes, some of my friends.
Some of your friends?
Yeah.
Is it anybody else? Yeah?
I think the ugly duckling is something we can all relate to. Like, for me, personally, I remember this one time I chased my brother up the stairs and I tripped and fell up the stairs. It was a pretty bad experience for me. I was traumatized. But I think it's just something we can all learn from.
Okay, now I want you to look at some pictures and don't say anything right now. Just kind of, what's the first thing that comes to your mind, and then just keep that in your head. This is our first picture. And if you just want to take a look at that, everyone, can you all see it? Take a look at that and then just think what's the first thing that comes to your mind when you see this image. Okay, and then our next picture. Can everybody look at that? Can everyone see that? And what's the first thing that comes to your mind? Our other picture. And then don't all shout out at once, but maybe we'll start with you and just tell me what in this first one, what do you see?
I saw an old lady.
What did you see?
I see kind of a mountain white thingy and then a face.
Okay. How about you?
I seen an old lady and a banana in the corner.
What did you see?
A young lady with their head turned to the side.
Okay, and what did you see?
I see an old lady.
Okay, on that second picture, what did everybody see? We'll start over here.
Let me put my thinking mustache on. I saw two girls facing each other.
Okay. What did you see?
I saw one go.
What did you see?
I seen one face and a candlestick in the middle.
What did you see?
A face with a candlestick in front of it.
What did you see?
I see two girls.
Okay, so now what I want you guys to do tonight is I want you to go home and take these pictures and show your family members and find out what they see first. See if it's the same thing that you guys saw when you first looked at the pictures. And then I want you to do a one-page free write just on anything that you learned from this lesson today or learned from comparing different people's perspectives, and then be ready for a quiz tomorrow.
What I would like students to learn is for students to have a better understanding that we all have a different perspective, be able to demonstrate interpersonal skills, and to get students thinking about other people's perspectives.